my violin teacher, Mrs. Haig. She was more than a violin teacher. She was a powerhouse. 5 feet tall, 3-inch heels, perfect hair and makeup, and never went anywhere without wearing an elegant suit. So I had this image of her in my mind, walking into a room and being able to, just with her presence, bring everyone in that room into unison with music. And I wanted to be just like her. So it sounds simple. I knew what I wanted to be when I grew up, so I just went after my dream, right? But it's not that simple, because there were other people's dreams involved. And I was actually taught that dreams are something you do on the side while you're doing the really important stuff, like graduating from Harvard, going to medical school, getting a house in the suburbs, and a partner track job at a venture capital firm. So you might imagine what other people thought when I moved to California 5 years ago to start my own violin school. I dressed like Mrs. Haig. I had people call me Dr. Chu. I wore suits. I even became known for my high-heeled shoes. And I learned that even following my own dream, I wasn't immune to other people's questions. And the 2 most common questions I got while I was building the school were, how many students do you have? That one. And when was your next performance? And to me, those weren't the right questions. Because in my studio, what I was seeing every day were 3-year-olds. And 3-year-olds are great. Even in Silicon Valley, 3-year-olds are not concerned with building empires or getting into college. They're confident. They've just learned how to walk and talk, and they're not in school yet, so they truly believe that anything is possible. And when you put a challenge in front of a 3-year-old, all they want to know is what it feels like to try, and that they'll be okay whether or not they fail. And if you give them those 2 things, they will try over and over again until they eventually succeed. It's we adults, though, that forget. And we actually begin living in a very narrow range of possibilities. And we start to answer other people's questions. And I was no different. Instead of taking the difficult task of explaining what I was seeing, it became a lot easier for me to measure my own progress by my answers to other people's questions. Every year I had more students. Every year we gave more performances. And everybody loved us. Other people were happy. I was successful. So, that should have been it. I had reached the top of yet another ladder. So, what was the problem? Well, along the way I got so busy answering other people's questions that I had lost the ability to recognize the sound of my own voice. And I forgot that following my own dream was about answering my own questions. And it turned out that my voice at the time sounded something like, be still, listen, rest. Are you having fun? And to the part of me who was born to work hard, these were totally unacceptable reasons to slow down. So it actually took my body speaking to me in the form of debilitating pain for me to finally listen. And when I finally did that, it was amazing to me, the new teachers who arrived in my life, the paths that presented themselves to me, and the lessons I learned. And the hardest lesson I had to learn was that I needed to let certain things end, to risk disappointing other people in order for new growth to occur. And I honestly never thought I would outgrow my own dream, or that on the way to one dream, I might get lost and find another one. But this is where I am today. So I'm standing in front of you on a new edge with a new dream. And really my message is to remind you of what every 3-year-old already knows, and what we adults need to work a little harder to remember, and that is anything is possible.